Yo, how's it going? I'm back in the video, and today I'm going to be talking about how Damian Lillard is back. Mr. Dame Time himself seems to be back in full strength this year, as the Portland Trailblazers have gotten off to a very good start. And basically what I want to get for this video is going to be really the road Damian Lillard has taken to get here, from when he started to struggle a little bit last season, to the offseason he just went through, and what the offseason the Portland Trailblazers just went through, to what he is doing right now in current day. So if that does sound interesting to you, I'm going to be getting to all that in this video. So if you do like it, please watch it all the way through. Hit the like button and subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world to me. And without further ado, without rambling on too much, let's get right into this video. So the first thing I want to get for this video is going to be the whole down year that the Portland Trailblazers had and Damian Lillard had as a whole last season. It really doesn't take much looking to see that the Portland Trailblazers were a struggling team last year. As in the 29 games that Damian Lillard did play, he only averaged 24 points per game, 7 assists per game, 4 rebounds per game on pretty bad efficiencies. And yes, you can blame those efficiencies and the not great numbers from injuries to not having a lot of support around him, which both are valid reasons to say for Damian Lillard, but still he was a far cry from the Damian Lillard all-NBA point guard that we came to know the past few years before this, and really it just didn't look very good for the Portland Trailblazers. They lost CJ McCollum in a trade. They weren't very good. Damian Lillard didn't look healthy. Really, the only bright spot was Damian Lillard stuck around with the team once again and said he does not want to leave the Trailblazers and wants to win with them. And a lot of people did get on him for that, but still, a lot of people respected the absolute loyalty Lillard has shown to Portland over the past few years. And then getting into the offseason after that down year, the offseason actually wasn't very bad and was mostly positive for the Portland Trailblazers, because since Damian Lillard had a surgery really in the middle of the regular season, he was able to spend most of his regular season rehabbing from that surgery. And although it was not great that he didn't get to play a lot, it was nice because the season was a lost season. They weren't going to be a good team pretty much no matter what, due to how much time Lillard lost, and due to them losing a season, he didn't have pressure on him to return, and didn't have to return till he was 100% healthy and 100% rehabbed from the surgery that he had to have, which resulted in him going through an entire offseason and training camp of just working on his game and focusing on himself and getting better and better every single day. And then you look at it from a team perspective, the offseason helped them in a good way as well, as they signed former Warriors guard and Gary Payton II, who is a very aggressive, very athletic, defensive-minded point guard who is just a great role player to have on any team no matter what. They were also able to go out and trade for a guy like Jeremy Grant from the Detroit Pistons, and they really didn't give up much of anything for him, and he is a very, very good scorer, and he's one of the better offensive players in the entire league. So that was an absolutely great pickup for the Portland Trailblazers. And then really to top it all off, they were able to extend very key pieces like Yusuf Nurkic and Anthony Simons last offseason to very nice extensions. So they have a very nice core. Most of them are locked up for the long-term future. And then you add on top of that, they were able to draft Shadion Sharp with the 6th overall pick. And then they also were able to get Josh Hart in the CJ McCollum trade. And that really all resulted in now having a very solid team around Damian Lillard going into this season. And that full offseason and working on his game, on top of all the good additions that the Portland Trailblazers were able to make, have really shown very nice through the first 2 games. Now, yes, it's an extremely small sample size, and it is very early to be saying anything or making any assumptions, but the Trailblazers have already much past expectations for this season, or at least the start of this season, as they have started off 2-0, beating 2 fairly solid teams. The first one being the Sacramento Kings, where they won 115-108. Now, the Kings, yes, they are a team that is kind of questionable and the jury's kind of out. They don't know if they're going to be a playoff team, a play-in team, or just completely miss the playoffs, but the Kings do have solid players like the Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis, so anytime you can beat a team that has 2 good players like that, you have to play fairly solid, and that's exactly what the Trailblazers did. Now, although Damian Lillard didn't shoot great in that game, he was still able to dish out 8 dimes and drop 20 points in the first game of the season, and they were able to get a W in the process, so you can't really knock him for anything he did right there. And then in game 2, they were able to beat the Phoenix Suns, a finals contending team, and is definitely a playoff team this year, barring any injuries, and they were able to win a very close game, 113 to 111, and Damian Lillard was able to go off, where he dropped 41 points, 3 assists, and 7 rebounds on extremely good efficiencies with 41% from the three-point line and 48% from the field goal line, and looked just like vintage Damian Lillard that everyone has missed. So through the first 2 games, it has really looked like this team could potentially be very, very solid and maybe even a playoff level team, as the Phoenix Suns are no joke to beat, and the Kings are at least a solid to okay team, and are not going to be a bottom feeder team, and those were 2 quality wins they were able to get. And if they can keep building this momentum, Damian Lillard can continue to play like the Damian Lillard of old, and all the additions keep working out the way they have. They're only going to get better and better as chemistry builds, as Shadon Sharpe gets more and more experience in the NBA, and if this continues, overall, the Portland Trailblazers could be a very surprise team out of the Western Conference this year. And those first 2 games, he is averaging 30 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, 5 assists per game on a 58% true shooting percentage. That is very, very high level play from any player, no matter who you are. And no, I don't expect him to keep up these ginormous averages. Now, yes, his rebounding and assists are at normal, but 30 points per game is insane. But it wouldn't be completely shocking if he's averaging around 28 to maybe 30 points per game this season. And that's what they're going to need him to do night in and night out. And if Damian Lillard is back, the Portland Trailblazers are going to be a very respectable team, and a team that nobody wants to play every single night in the Western Conference. And I think they're going to be a very competitive team and a very fun team to watch, because if Shadon Sharpe does end up developing the way I think he will, they got a very nice player with him. Jeremy Grant, like I said, one of the better offensive players. Josh Hart's one of the best role players in the entire NBA. He plays with heart. He is going to give 110% every single night. And then Anthony Simon had a breakout year last year and hopes to continue that momentum and that trend. So really, this team has a ton of high upside and a ton of potential going forward, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they develop and how good they can be by the end of this year. But unfortunately, guys, that's my first video. So comment below, do you agree with me? Do you think the Portland Trailblazers could be very good? Do you think Damian Lillard is back? On your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe button. It would mean the absolute word to me. And I hope you have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. See you have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah.